Quietly, many students face uphill battles on campus, ranging from bullying, dating violence, unregulated calendar to sexual harassment. Most profound of these battles is the issue of sexual harassment, which is gradually assuming critical dimensions in Nigeria's fine institutions of higher learning. More profound is the lack of definitional clarity, which accounts for the inability of persons to identify acts of sexual harassment as one. The numbers are staggering on a daily basis, and the spate of this pandemic has partly been attributed to poor individual and institutional response, lack of effective policies backed by secure and confidential reporting channels that protect victims.
How many guys today?
I'm free for the girl now. She's not paying for it.
Paying for it with
our body.
When somebody is trying to pressurize you for sex in exchange for marks, it is a criminal.
Sex for Grades, a documentary released by the BBC, went viral in October of 2019, and social media went on a rampage.
BBC documentary, just like an eye-opener. Similar unreported cases have been going on for years. Some of the lecturers were invited to their offices using jokes like, okay, come and submit your assignment individually. And you as a female folks, when you go there to submit your assignment, they will start harassing you even before entering their office.
In my faculty, the issue of sex for grade is becoming very rampant, whereby lecturers with their colleagues ask students to have sexual intercourse with them. Otherwise, they are going to fail them as long as they remain in the faculty.
In April of 2018, there was an audio conversation between a man and a lady, which was sensationally trending on social media because of its explicit tone.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Which one is yes again?
Yes.
Professor Akindele, which one is yes again? Yesterday you said something. It was because I was close to my boyfriend. I couldn't say anything. You said that
Because what?
I was close to my boyfriend yesterday. He was there, so I didn't want him to hear anything. You said you submitted it.
This recording was said to be a conversation between Professor Richard Akindele of the Obafemi Awolowo University and Ms. Monica Osage, a student of the professor.
Should I come by 5?
If you not come and be asking me this stupid question.
It's not stupid question now.
But why did you tell me you are doing it? Why did you tell me?
I was really doing my period that day. I swear to God, Professor Akindele, I was doing my period.
Stop mentioning my name.
Sorry. I was really doing my period, sir.
Professor Akindele was accused of sexual harassment and was found liable on all the allegations against him.
And then we'll do another one tomorrow.
Shaking me what every own journey.
If we not 5, our agreement is 5.
Because of, is it B you want to give me or E?
No.
So why would it be 5 times that you will not come in before I do?
He was dismissed from the service of the university. Was justice served? What is justice in this case?
Can I truly get justice? What will other lecturers and my friends say about me? Can my school become a safe space conducive for learning? Can I achieve my dreams?
Can I still graduate from this institution? What if I speak out? What next?
Will this victimization truly end?
I don't even know who I am anymore.
Justice? Shortly after the BBC Sex for Grades video was released capturing clips of some sex predators in the University of Lagos and University of Ghana, it was revealed that the journalist Kiki Mordi received death threats.
I'm in the company of the staff at BBC and they've been taking really good care of me.
We are happy that the security of Kiki Mordi is guaranteed, and we applaud her courage, resilience, and contribution in curbing this social menace. But how about other young ladies who speak out without their safety being guaranteed? But who will protect Jumoke, who is currently facing death threats on campus for refusing to date a fellow student who the lecturer has given the authority to mark her test script? Who will secure Adesuwa, a 19-year-old student living in the suburbs of Benin, constantly threatened by the admissions officer in the school where she is hoping to pursue further studies? How do we protect Chinwe, who is currently being victimized sexually by a lecturer who also doubles as her guardian in school? What will happen to Aisha's education after speaking out against a lecturer who assaulted her?
I couldn't talk. My life was threatened. My education, my career, and my future is at stake.
I'm going through a difficult phase in my life. This is actually the third institution I'm enrolling due to similar experiences with lecturers. I'm not the only one passing through this, but I'm bold enough to speak out. So what then is the fate of those who are not able to come out and speak for themselves? Should we now go back to our houses and be deprived of education? No, I feel this is a platform to come out and express ourselves. I stand against sexual harassment against female students in institutions.
Sometime in October of 2019, a lady who was an ex-student of Ahmadu Bello University tweeted that a former staff of the university, Mr. Umar, who was employed by the Kaduna State University, KASU, at the time of this report, had sexually harassed her when he was a staff at ABU. This young lady alleged that Mr. Umar was sacked by ABU for sexual misconduct and was later employed by KASU. Luckily, in this case, Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai responded that the accused lecturer and 15 others dismissed by ABU will be prosecuted by the Attorney General of Kaduna State.
Some of these lecturers think they are unstoppable, unquestionable, and unanswerable to anyone. Like, seriously, because they actually feel they are too big for students to talk to or to anyone to ask them questions, and then they just do anything they feel like doing out of their own will and not considering it if it's even going to affect us or not.
Back then in school, I had encounters with so many students, female friends, who had certain issues and problems with some lecturers in the institution. These students were not bold enough to air their voices, and their voices were not heard because of the fear of being victimized at some point. I think there's every need for our institutions, our university system, to provide an avenue whereby students will be able to voice out their challenges, most especially ladies, because they are vulnerable people. So I think our institutions need to work on policy making, stringent policies that will enable students to be able to talk to someone about the challenges they are going through. Beyond policies, I believe these policies should be followed and implemented, because it's one thing to make a policy and it's another thing for it to be implemented. And more so, apart from female students being faced by such challenge, male students too go through a lot, of which most of them will not be able to come out and air their voices because no one will want to listen to them or no one wants to hear them out.
I think the case of sexual harassment concerns everybody. There is a popular maxim that says an injury to one is an injury to all. It's not all about gender, it's all about people, it's all about humanity. We shouldn't be waiting on government, we shouldn't be waiting on anybody to come to our aid. The best thing we can do is to come collectively, individually, and speak out whenever we see one. And if you also have other means which are legitimate, you can also employ them and make sure that the issue of sexual harassment is stopped in our campuses. Thank you.
To nip sexual harassment in the bud, we all have a role to play. I have a role, the government has a role, regulatory agencies have a role. Every member of this community has a role to play towards making our tertiary institutions a safe haven for learning. What would your role be?